Guys, I'm back again. Deluded. Thank you for having me, man. Appreciated. But let's speak about Germany or Germany going into the World Cup. Now, I don't like predictions, and this isn't a prediction video, but we might as well speak about them going into the World Cup. They've obviously got to be respected. They hold the title. We need to remember what they did in 2014. Sadly, as much as it pains me to say, you guys know I love Brazil, the Brazilian national side, um, for childhood and them things there destroyed Brazil, wiped the floor of Brazil, sadly, with that 7-1, man. There's actually tears in my heart right now as I say that, but they did their thing. Arguably, probably the most balanced of sides. If you look at it, they got some tasty midfield options. Even guys like Roddy, they've got Kroos, obviously, Tony Kroos, Gundogan, I meant to say, Ozil. Modric would be lovely in that side, but he doesn't play for them. So yeah, they've got a lovely, decent amount of Goretzka, lovely midfield options. They've got Thomas Muller, depending on how they view him as a midfielder or as a striker. Timo Werner up front. Brand's there, a decent player. People need to rate him a bit, and I hope he puts in a good showing. Collectively, throughout the side, they have a good amount of players, but it hasn't been plain sailing. I mean, in their last couple of games, granted, it might be different because they've played since then, but they could have lost. They could have drawn against Saudi Arabia, and there was a lot of boos and a lot of things. They weren't putting in the best of performances. Their form going into the World Cup isn't the best. Isn't the best either, man. To be honest with you, so yeah, man, like it does. Well, they've got great players and good players and things like that, and you have to respect Germany. Somehow they're gonna get to the later rounds. It's not all plain sailing. Players are being booed, like you see with France. Players are being booed. They in regards to winning games collectively, obviously they also lost to Austria as well. So it's not the best of forms in the last 7 games. I believe they've won one in the last 7, and they've drawn 6, and they've probably drawn 6-1-1 and lost one. Wait, drawn 6-1-1, lost one. That's dead match. Drawn 5-1-1, lost one. That's better. Like, you see what I'm saying? Almost held the L there, but that's how you fight back. Obviously, the likes of Boateng and a couple other players are missing through injury, but so it's not all plain sailing. Yogi Low signed a new deal, so like I said, they're probably the most balanced side, the most nation or group of players or collective group of people going into the World Cup that are on the same page, that know what they're doing. We have to respect them. We have to respect the German efficiency. I actually think Thomas Muller might just put in a dramatic uptake in form in regards to this World Cup. I hate predictions, but that'll be my one. To be fair, he might do something. We know at the last couple World Cups he's been scoring goals, so we'll see on that aspect, man. Since 2002, they've been getting to semi-finals and quarters and things like that, man. It's been strong. I say 2002 because I weren't watching it that year. I was a little kid. Like there's footage of me watching the game as a kid, but I don't remember that. There's and things there, and I've watched the final again and seen some games from the tournament online, but I weren't there. I wasn't experiencing it, so there's no need to waffle about it. Again, in terms of being balanced and having a great personnel, because testament to Germany and their efficient players, they can play a bunch of formations, 4-3-3. They can play different variations of it. They can play 3 at the back, 2 if they must, with 2 up front. They can do a bunch of things. So yeah, their qualifying, unlike their recent form for their nations, their qualifying was decent. They blitzed, decent's an understatement. They blitzed it, 10 out of 10. So yeah, man. In fact, I got the real things here, man. Uh, I don't. I think I have some other stats. I need to stop making stats, but I think 10 games. I don't know what that is. So let's just forget that, man. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. All I know is they lost to Brazil and Austria allegedly. But yeah, they've obviously got a couple different nations, man. They've got Mexico, they got South Korea, they got Sweden in their group. So we'll see what they're saying. On a side note, I was looking at their performances in friendlies or whatever against the so-called big nations, and they drew against France, they drew against Spain, and they drew against England. On top of some of the causes for concerns I've said in this video, you have to respect Germany. This is what my actual thinking. I respect Germany. I think they're going to be there and abouts, and there's a good chance they could be in the semi-finals, possibly finals. You need to respect them. But it's not all plain sailing, and complacency is a killer. I do not think there's going to be any air of complacency in that side. Probably, and it's harsh to use Sane as an example, but probably him as the best example. Because if you're Sane, maybe he thought different, and I love Sane, but I would be complete. I would assume I'm going World Cup. It's bad, and I say don't assume anything, but I would have thought I'm going World Cup. That's why I would have been making the Instagram posts and changing my hair and doing everything he was doing. But yeah, man, I think Germany will be in and amongst there and stuff like that. But when you look at all the nations, there's not really any. You could say Brazil to a degree, but there's not really any nation that screams with me. Everyone looks like they're having some sort of problems, to be fair. But yeah, man, I believe Germany's probably got the most balanced squad, the most balanced on top of the balanced this being